Welcome back, my friend. You made it. You made it, my friend. Yesterday we've talked about letting go. 999 portal. We are in the 9th month of the year and we are in the 9th year. And we've talked a lot about number 9, the significance around number 9, the number of completion, the last digit before it turns back to 1 or to 10. So there was a lot of release that happened, and I hope you feel lighter today. I hope you feel something was kind of put off your shoulders. Not because some magical force did something for you, even though it did, but also you let things go, you ended something, you completed something. It doesn't mean it's a final thing. You're constantly unfolding. But what you may notice during this time is that gentle pull that you felt all along, all the time, is now taking over. It's not like your ego is still so rigid and stuck and in fear and worried. No, now that deeper pull is taking over. In all ancient traditions, they call it the higher self, the Atman, the Tao, the inner Christ, the intelligence that knows. It's not the part of you that thinks, it's not the part of you that overanalyzes, it's the part of you that knows. And that part of you is not questioning life, that part of you is trusting life. It's the part of you that is here to create something new that will reward not just you, but people in your life, people around you. Society is changing right now, and what you're noticing is that sometimes when you look out, you see society outside of you. But actually you're the individual that is creating society. So you're part of the society, but you have a very deep, personal, intimate relationship with the society. In the past, when you've been functioning so much out of your ego, you've been in your fear and you've been maybe sad and you felt separated from all of that. So you wanted to move yourself away from it, or you wanted to hide, or you had moments where you would just freeze and not knowing what to do. It was not a very maybe constructive state to be in, to build something new in this world. But as you came across a deeper force in you that started guiding you, that started whispering to you, you've noticed that you don't want to hide from the world. You don't want to freeze in the world. No, you want to melt what is freezing, right? Melt it down. Melt down the stiffness of this world. The contracted muscles, melt it down, relax. And you've learned to become better in this process. We call it healing or shadow work or making progress on this evolutionary journey. And you made it. You made a lot of progress. And I want to congratulate you. A part of you may still feel it's not true, like not much has changed. But that part of you that is trusting is now way stronger. It's not whispering to you anymore. You became it. So it's not that you need to reach something higher at this point. You already became the higher you, the higher self. You became it already. What you're doing now is like you're chiseling away still this old parts of your identity that are trying to control your mind to be in fear. But because you became so wise and so aware and so conscious, it can't control you anymore. No, it can't. And you know it. That's why you feel so light. That's why it feels like you've spread up your wings and you're ready to fly. Maybe you're flying already. Have you tried, my friend? Have you tried? So yesterday when I finished that video about 999 Portal, I felt so deeply guided to create a meditation. So I guided you into a meditative process where we've been through a process of release, and then we found ourselves in the state of nothingness, in the infinity of space, and then we've stepped into a new energy. And for the whole time I was just guided from my higher self during this whole process, and when I finished it, I've started receiving so many downloads, what we are stepping in. And when I went to sleep, there was more downloads, what to talk about next, what to share with you, and what kind of energy to bring. And it was to me an energy of inspiration, an energy of bliss and joy and passion that is coming in. And this is something you may feel right now. You may be waking up to it. And even though reality may still not reflect much of that, it's because out of fear, out of an old habit, you've been looking into the future more from maybe panic, like what's the worst case scenario? When is the next thing that will go wrong? And what may fall apart next? So it would reaffirm this part of your identity that was saying to you, I always fail, I never succeed, I will never get out of this, and so on and so on. But many of you have identified this part of your ego, that story, that, well, at some point of your life you've been taught these things, these words, and you believe them because maybe they've been repeated so frequently to you that you've just started taking them as truth. But why you always had that deeper pull to question it, to try it anyway, to try it one more time, to keep going despite all the hurts? Why? Because you're not that old identity, and that's the freedom that awakens for you. The freedom begins when you realize that what you've been is not what you will be. So what you've been is something that ended, and therefore you're at the threshold of what can be. And if there is something that can be, it means you can choose to become anything that aligns with you the most. That's why so many of you have been feeling for the last few months or even years like you've been walking between the worlds. I've actually created a painting that symbolizes that. I'm an artist, as many of you know. So I've created a painting that symbolizes this process, being in between. This is like being between different dimensions. Like we've talked about this split, the 3D 5D split. It's truly a split in society that happens between different levels of awareness, of consciousness, of perception. As you know, someone who lives in a 4-dimensional awareness is aware of the thoughts and timing of the 3rd-dimensional character you're playing. But then someone who's in 5th-dimensional awareness is also aware that there are different states of thoughts, different levels of thoughts. Like each emotional sensation gives us a different mind almost. Like when you're joyful, you think differently than when you're sad. So each emotional sensation gives us a different mind. And therefore in 5th-dimensional awareness, you're present with all different emotions, with all different frequencies. Frequencies are more like, you could say, you know, different waters. Like there are more stormy waters and there are more kinda, you know, peaceful waters. Science say higher the frequency, more it becomes neutral, until at some point it becomes so fast that it's, if you would draw it, it would look completely narrow. This is the most neutral state. When you're at the ocean, you see the most neutral ocean looks almost like flat, right? But at the same time, you feel the most connected. There's less resistance. There's almost no resistance. That's what happens when you tap into the fifth dimensional awareness. You notice there's no resistance, so you can choose. You can choose mind. You can choose emotional experience. And therefore, each choice with each mentality puts you onto a different timeline. So timeline means you stand here right now, but your destination is somewhere in the potential future. And walking there, you will experience time. But because there's different outcomes, the ones you can choose, there are different timelines. If you think about a bigger picture, there's not just you, there's the whole society, as I've mentioned before. You can envision a society you would like to live in, and you can envision the world you would like to live in. And you can then think about creatively who you need to become to live in that world, and what you need to leave behind, and what it takes from you. Because as you're receiving something, you're also giving something. So what it takes from you, what you can give to it. It's almost like an honoring process where you're giving something. As in ancient traditions, they said the function of a teacher is that he always gives, or she always gives, parts of him or her to his or her students. So it's kind of a sacrifice that is a loving work we do for others. And that's what truly liberates us from our own egos and our own, blocks and limitations. And therefore, you have a choice, you had a choice, and many of you have chosen to evolve, to ascend, to level up, to unlimit yourself, and to see where you feel attracted the most, what kind of service, the position of someone who's in service to others is calling you. But of course, you've noticed, as many of you have made it, you've noticed I can't serve if I feel empty. So you've started filling up the cup of your life as well. But sometimes it's not that you must be healed so you can serve. It's that you serve and it heals you. You serve and it fills up your cup. So it's always both-sided story that we are in. And those who are deeply in tune with themselves will always know what's the right thing to do at any particular time. So it's not about receiving guidance so much from outside of you. It's now acting upon what you feel within you. It still helps when you tune in into messages like this one today, because it reminds you of where you're going and it reminds you of the energy you're stepping in. But guidance will always come from within, and it rhymes. So now it begins for you. There's a lot of joy in front of you. There's a lot of freedom in front of you. What I feel for you and what I feel for me is that soon we will look back and we'll say, oh, I'm so proud of myself. I'm so grateful that back at that time I did it. That back at that time I've decided to step in. That back at that time I followed my intention and not my fear. And back at that time I've decided to trust when all the evidence around me was saying nothing works out. I'm so grateful that back at that time I've made a second step when my body was rejecting it because it felt scary. Oh yeah, I'm so grateful that I didn't quit back at that time because everything said to me I should. accept my heart. And you said yes to your heart. And that's why you're feeling free right now. That's why something new began for you. You've liberated yourself. You detached from this world. It doesn't mean you don't need it anymore. It doesn't mean like you don't need food and you don't need material things and you don't need abundance. No, it means actually now you know how to enjoy it. Like, yes, abundance, you deserve all of it. Material things, you deserve all of this, yes. But not to be attached to it. Not to measure your worth with it. Not to measure your happiness with it. Like, more I have, happier I am. No, because you know it's all fleeting. And you will leave this place with nothing, right? Same as you came here, with nothing but a breath. So, my message is always for you, dream big. Go for it. But never forget that it's only a character that you play. Yes, that character has a script that you've written. We call it soul contracts. And soul contracts are in your hands. You can rewrite them. You can reread them. And you can look back at them. And they can give you a sense of purpose, like why you've been hurt, why you needed to deal with these people, because you've chosen to. Because on a soul level, you wanted these experiences. Now on a human level, it's important to learn to resolve them, and you are learning, which is powerful. So therefore, a lot of these karmic cycles from the past are now cleaned, removed, because you've done a lot of healing. And you've done a lot of this work that was needed. Now that it's over, now that you don't need to do it anymore, but you're now entering a cycle where you're now allowing new things to arrive, new manifestations to arrive, new gifts to arrive. So, what I wanted to give you today, what I felt called to give you today, is to know that it's finished. It's finished. Whatever that means for you. And if you truly look around, you will see the evidence of it. Something was done. Something was pulled off. Something was left behind. And now, my friend, what you're stepping into, it's your choice. What you're stepping into. What's the energy? Like I always like to ask myself, and maybe a practice for today. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel in the future? What's the energy of it? And can I embody it today? And what it requires from me. As I said before, each emotion has a different mind almost. So what emotion can become more dominant in your body? And see how you think in that emotional state. What identity can be built in that state? How much your personality can change, your daily habits. You're not the same person as you've been before. You're the architect of this, you, and your reality. So just be reminded, you've done it. You've done it before. You've designed so much before this life. Can you remember how much you've done? These are all deep memories that you're slowly learning to access to. Sometimes we crave the most mystical stuff, like who we've been before. But time is all now. It is all happening simultaneously. So it doesn't truly matter so much who we've been before. What truly matters is what we knew and how to access more of what we knew. And that's what you're doing right now. Every time you trust the moment that before you would feel afraid, it means you're accessing deeper wisdom in you. Every time you hold integrity for that vision of you. At times when fleeting pleasures come that try to pull you away from your path, it means you're accessing deeper wisdom that says to you, you're the creator, you're the architect, you've done this before. So every time you stay true to your intuition, to the feeling of love, to healing, to devotion to others, you're accessing deeper wisdom that is present in you, that you've used before, but you've forgotten because no one taught you how to use it. It's also the nature of this time that we're waking up to our soulful gifts. That's why we're saying now no to so many things outside of us, because we know my path is my path, and not everything belongs unto my path. And because no one walked my path before, feeling lost sometimes, even though it's a false statement, is a sign that I am on the right path. If no one walked your path before, it means there's no path in front of you. It means there's something deeper that is guiding you to discover it. Only when you look back you can see it, right? You're paving it. Just remember that. In your daily life, in your relationships, sometimes you don't know what to say. Sometimes you don't know what to do. Sometimes you don't know what's the right choice, because you're paving something new. You're stepping into something that you've never done before. That's why I'm always reminding you, there's a part of you that knows. You're not becoming it anymore, it is taking over. So trust it now and forever. Trust it now and forever. I will leave you here. I hope you found a great value in today's message. I hope you've enjoyed in this beautiful scenery of my art gallery. I'm an artist. I paint as much as I talk. So to anyone who would like to find my art, you can go into AttractPassion.com and you will find all of my paintings there. By buying my art, you're also supporting this mission, which is something that I am truly grateful for. And also join our Patreon community for more exclusive content, guided meditations, and so much more. And to anyone who would like to get more support on this path, just yesterday I've created a guided meditation that will help you with that. It's called During This You Will Shift, something like that, or 999 Portal Meditation. You can do it every single day. It will support you so much. And also join YouTube membership if you would like to support this channel. So, see you there as well, my friend. Until next time, one love.